All right, can you guys? No, you can't. Can you guys hear me now? No, you can't. All right, you guys can hear me now, right? I'm just busy making sure that I record this because it did end. All right, so what do we need for DAX to do now, right? We have 2 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. It re-entered that 1 hour descending trend, all right? We need DAX to start playing above that trend, okay? If it closes below, retests, and continues going down, looks like DAX might continue going down, right? So for our long positions, we need DAX to enter above that 1 hour trend and obviously, retest and continue going up. Just double checking, audio is good, guys, right? Yeah, okay, awesome. Awesome. All right, so price closed below the 1 hour trend. We just need to see what it continues to do, probably for the next 15 minutes. And then if price continues playing below this trend, I'll probably look for an early exit. All right. Just depends how it plays out. But if there's obvious signs that it's going to keep on going down, or if it goes down within this 15-minute candle, then obviously, that's our long position done and dusted. But for us to continue having faith in this long bullish position on DAX right now, okay, remember, we're still in the golden zone, right? We're still in the golden zone, so it's still a good area. The only thing is, because of our technical analysis, right, we are playing under the 1 hour trend line. We are playing under the 1 hour trend line, as well as the 200-day and 50-day moving average. So if price starts playing above those areas again, we should be good with our long positions, okay? But we can see that price, because of that aggressive candle on the 15-minute time frame, all right, price tapped into that fair value gap, which was obviously one of the first concerns for us, where we wanted to move SL to entry, but it was just too early, right? It was too early. I don't want to be in a situation where we enter a trade and then we get taken out, then we're looking for another entry. We're looking for the same setup, right? Not a fan of those positions at all. Have you entered yet? Yes, I have entered. And what now? Well, we wait, bro. We wait. It would be nice if like you entered a trade and would just instantly say like you're wrong or you're right. You know, that would be uh amazing. But with this, obviously we have to hold, wait for price to do its thing, and that could take anywhere between, you know, 5 minutes to, I don't know, like 2 hours. So it's just one of those things where you have to wait. But I'm gonna plan my next move within this 15-minute candle. Wait, bro, this is the hardest part in trading. Yeah, it is. It is. The worst thing is like when you're waiting for your trading, you start overthinking, right? Or you just like playing different outcomes in your head and so on. But best thing is just trust the process, bro. Just trust the process. With this trade, I'm only risking 1%, so 1% risk. 1% risk for a 6.4% gain. All right. Nasdaq looks promising. Could push DAX. Let's have a look at Nas. Yeah, so ideally with Nasdaq, I'm waiting for a pullback. That's ideally what I'm looking for with Nasdaq. Are your trades mostly starting with NY Open or other opening times? Because have there been more liquidity or more depending on your analysis when it tells you to enter? Yeah, so good question, Tom. So typically with my setups, right, I like to do my setups early in the morning. So if price does tap into my key area confluence, I will enter earlier, right? So I'm not very session dependent, all right? Yes, session will probably push price to ideally where I want it to go, all right, if my bias is correct and my technical analysis is correct, right? But the main thing is with my trading style is I have a key area to enter, right? Related to my bias. And if price comes into my key area before session, that's fine, right? But obviously it depends on a lot of things. So let's just say price comes into this kind of setup like a minute before New York Open. Is it a good idea to enter? Probably not, right? Because of the volume, it's with New York Open, it could honestly go either way, right? So it's a little bit riskier to enter just on New York Open. But if it's like 2, 3 hours before or an hour or two afterwards, it's all right. But most of the times, what I actually see happen is it's more of a 50-50, right? So, especially with NASDAQ, 50% of the time, NASDAQ will come into my key entry because remember I look for the long movement with with Nasdaq or even DAX or gold, right? I don't look for a quick like 1-to-1 or a quick 1-to-2. I look for, the next big move. Um, and if sorry, so 50% of the time that would actually happen during the London session for Nasdaq, right? It will come into my key area of interest during London session, and then the other 50% of the time it would happen like 15 or 30 minutes just after New York session. So yeah, it's give or take, but to mainly answer your question, I purely rely on a key area. If price comes in, then I act. Yeah. All right, so right now trade is at our entry point. Again, where price is playing now, it's significant to us, right? It's significant to us. Why is it significant? Because we're trading above our golden zone. We're trading above that 1 hour trend. We're trading above the 200-day moving average, and we're trading above the 50-day moving average, right? So that's why it's very, very good right now. All right, my laptop's about to die, so I'm just putting in my charger. Sick. All right, so this is a very, very key area for us. If price continues playing to the upside, as long as it's playing above our golden zone, above the moving averages, above the trend, we should see our targets get hit. All right, we should see our targets get hit. If it plays below the golden zone and below the trend line, we will most likely take a loss on this trade. That's the honest truth. Thanks. Good to know and sounds logical. Better than putting everything. Yes, for sure, for sure. Everything like that's why. You can ask me any question. All right. Well, I don't want to get cocky with it, but you can ask me any question and I'll have an answer for it. Right? Because the most important thing, make it make sense. All right. Make it make sense. You always need to. If you're doing something and you don't necessarily have a reason, why are you doing it? There's no reason behind it. Why are you doing it? So yeah, everything that I do with my chart, I try and make it make sense, at least for myself. If it doesn't make sense, that means it doesn't add any form of value. And if it doesn't add value, I'm wasting my time doing it. You get funding, you get funding. Do you mostly wait for confirmation of re-entering your golden zone on 5 minute, like with this trade? Because when it entered the first time, it made sense already. Yeah, so the thing is with this particular trade, I was quite confident in it because we had a lot of confluences, right? Where I had a retest on that 1 hour trend, 200-day moving average, 50-day moving average, and our bullish golden zone, right? The thing is, the golden zone is a great form of confluence, but you can't purely rely on it. Okay, um, you have to have extra confluences to justify the type of trade setup that you have. So this particular trade setup, it's very, very good, right? But the only reason why I'm still hesitant with it is because for the previous 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, right? We closed bearish on all of them. Regardless of the emotions from the candlesticks, it was still bearish, right? So that's still something to take note of. But we're pretty close to our key area of moving SL to entry. So as long as we can get to that area, it's a risk-free trade, and then every profit is essentially for free. That 15-minute closure below the 1 hour trend was hopefully a fake out. Yeah, hopefully. So even if now, because it closed below, but if this candle closes above, all right, the 1 hour trend, even if it comes back down, it could be the retest, right? So I'm not too worried about that. But I just want price to keep on playing above all of our confluences, because that's obviously going to make me feel pretty confident about the trade. So the confirmation to enter was the close of 15-minute above the 1 hour. No, that's just something that Ryan pointed out, right? So for me, my confirmation was on the 5 minute, the let's show you. All right, so on the 5 minute, right, price tapped into my area of confluence, and I said that if price closes above the 1 hour trend, closes above, and also on the retest, I would be happy to enter, and that's why we got in over here. So I entered because of all the reasons of confluence, right? But I executed based off that Japanese candlestick and how it closed above my reasons of confluence. Yeah, for sure. 100%. So we still have 1 more minute on this candle. I don't see price like coming below that 1 hour trend within that 1 minute, but we could still get a retest. So let's see. $10.15. What time zone is that? 10:15. So same thing, right? We filled that fair value gap, so no longer need to have that grand box. But now, same thing. All right, so we can maybe see price coming back to entry. All right, at 23,588, and then filling that imbalance and hopefully continuing to the upside. Right. Oh, I have to say I like the analysis part, the way you do it. Takes some time, but gives me more confidence in what you are doing. Suits me better compared to the other Discord with the quicker trade setup. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, it's all preference. It's all preference to how you trade, what you prefer, and also what you do good at. It's not going to be everyone's bread and butter, but what I say with my trading approach, right? You really have to actually put in effort, right? And I'm not saying you don't put in effort with other systems, but there's obviously a lot more variables that come into play, right? And The reason why there's a lot more variables is because, we base our trades off multiple things. Um, we essentially have the same copy and paste blueprint, the same setup every single time, or the same approach, but we are open-minded with what price has done and what it's going to do and the possible outcomes. So we always predict but react, right? React to what the market gives us, but we have a solid prediction. You know, with this GER40 trade, we had multiple predictions, and based off what we got, we reacted. So for me, that's what trading is about, right? It's not just buying and selling. It's more beyond that. The sooner you can understand how to actually read the charts and what it means when prices at certain levels, or you know different candlesticks, whatever, you'll have a stronger understanding. So yeah, I appreciate that, Tom. All right, so we're tapping into that, where price would have been imbalanced if we continue going up. So this should be ideally the zone where price continues going up. Let's see what it does. And yeah, I just want us to hit that break BE zone and then just let it continue to do its thing. Is that too much to ask for? Missing South Africa? No, I'm not. Are you adding positions to trades are active? No, I don't add positions. I have one area where enter being my key area, and then afterwards it's done and dusted. If you wanted to make more off the trade, you should have increased your risk from the get-go. I know people will add positions like, once you break certain obstacles and stuff. But for me, it's too much risk. It's too much risk. Why I say that is because even, let's just say, once price goes above yesterday's high, we will add another position, right? Because if it's trading above yesterday's high, it should continue going up, right? In theory, okay? But let's just, sorry. So let's just say price goes to yesterday's high, we add our position, and then that's actually, that would have been our TP zone. So now it reversed, and although our one position has SL at entry, our new position now is in drawdown. So we essentially hedging our profitable position, and not only are we hedging it, it's like a double down hedge kind of vibe. So yeah, that's one reason why I used to trade that way, where I'll just like continuously add positions, whatever. But there's no structure to it, right? You're just trying to really maximize your winnings. So there's no real plan. All right, 9 more minutes. Geez, why does time feel like it's going so slowly? All right, so if you again, all right, guys, I wanted to make sense for you guys. All right, so far with what price is doing, okay, why could we see price coming down to this area as well as this 50% zone of the ground box? All right, why? Okay, price broke up of the 1 hour descending trend. Now, because it broke the trend again, we need a retest. Now, that's what this is. It's a retest, right? But not only that, because there's an imbalance, right? A premature fair value gap, you can say. We got that fill now, all right? We got more than a fill. So that's a reason why we could see price coming down to that area, right? And it's cool because like when you're trading this kind of style, right? You know you can kind of predict where price is going to go in the smaller time frames, and why it's going there, right? Do you see like how make it make sense, right? Do you see how the fact that price came down into that level, we know why it did and why it has to, you know? So yeah, I'm not saying like it's going to perfectly, retest that trend and fill that premature fair value gap and then continue going up. That's what we wanted to do, right? But we know why it came down, which is cool. What's your TP? Jonas, it's on the chart over here. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see. Short Liam. Had to drop off for 30 minutes. When is the time when I could re-enter? When it touches golden zone again? Um, Price is at our entry point now. So if you haven't entered already, you can enter now. Our trade isn't at break even yet. So yeah, if you want to enter, you're welcome to. SL 23515. Um, yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.